Block by block, chunk by chunk, a new world was created. One of the greatest games ever made and the highest grossing game ever sold gave what many of us wanted, a toolbox to build whatever our mind desired. Minecraft has affected numerous facets of millions of people's lives across the world, from how we consume content to what people can create in a simple blocky world. Minecraft was made by a single developer, Marcus Notch Persson. Persson was a Swedish programmer who got to start creating video games at 8 years old with a text-based adventure game. He built more games over the years and soon joined King as a game developer, for years until his departure in 2009 to work on his own game, Minecraft. Working at King allowed Persson to gain knowledge about programming as he worked with multiple coding languages while creating multiple browser-based games. While making these games for King, Persson also prototyped games on his free time, one project being RubyDung. Like most of Persson's other side projects, he took inspiration from other games that he liked or made, and RubyDung was no exception, taking gameplay inspiration from the construction and management indie game of Dwarf Fortress and the isometric 3D graphics of Roller Coaster Tycoon. He added more things to his own pet projects. Although he added more ideas to RubyDung, the game was soon cancelled in the pre-alpha stage. Only a few screenshots were ever shown. He kept making more games, playing different ones to gain more ideas to add to some of his own projects. One game he explored was Infiniminer. This game used a first-person view with the simple graphics and blocks used for building and destroying different structures and materials. This simple blocky game gave him an idea. He enjoyed playing Infiniminer, but thought that the game was too simple. He thought that the game would be much more enjoyable with a bit of RPG flair added to it. This is where the idea of Minecraft was planted in his head. After his departure from King in 2009 and a brief stint with the company J-Album, he dove straight into his newest game, Minecraft, in May 2009. Although Persson never finished RubyDung, he used his already worked on codebase for his newest game. Over a weekend of work, he created the basics of the game and started testing it to see how to improve it. One thing to note is that unlike the more common programming language C++ or C# used in game production, Persson created his game in Java. This is important to note since later on with the Windows 10 edition coming out, the original release of Minecraft was coined Minecraft Java Edition, while the Windows 10 edition used C++ as its programming language of choice. But we can talk more about that later on. Persson started testing it in May 16, 2009 on the TIG forums before releasing it to the public on May 17, 2009. As more people played the game, Persson gained a lot more feedback and updated the game accordingly. Soon this version of the game was coined Minecraft Classic Edition. There were further tests done to fix parts of his game during September 2009 to June 2010, and on June 30, 2010, the first of multiple large updates was released, named the Alpha Update. As more updates followed, new blocks, animals, monsters, game modes, and game mechanics were added to Minecraft. The game started to grow and the development started to increase. During this time, Persson hired on 2 more new members to his game, Jacob Horser and Carl Manna. During the middle of 2010, these 3 opened a new game development company, Mojang. As Minecraft moved into its beta testing stage on December 11, 2010, Persson kept fixing bugs that were hindering the game mechanics, as well as stating that the game was still going to be free. Over this development period, Mojang hired more employees, one of whom was Jens Jeb Bergenstein, who took full creative control over the games as the lead designer, taking over Persson's position. Now, there is no story or set path in Minecraft. It allows you to play the game however you want. Although to get to the final credits of the game, you will need to journey across the overworld, the nether, and the end in order to beat the Ender Dragon. To do so, you will need to kill monsters, tame animals, and build shelters to win. Although the game has minimal storytelling, the main point of the game is to build and make whatever you want using the simple building and crafting mechanics. Pretty much, the mechanics of the whole game can be boiled down into what's in the title, mining and crafting. This is mainly seen in the single-player survival modes of the game. Every player starts out by creating a world using whichever game mode you want. The modes that the player can choose are either survival, hardcore, creative, or adventure. Survival is pretty vanilla, with you having to beat the Ender Dragon by venturing out into the world. There are multiple animals and monsters known as mobs that players can tame or kill to gather resources to build with. Now the player needs to craft items using the materials around them, as well as digging through caves and cutting down trees to get some more precious resources. They can also smelt ores to get metal ingots to craft even better weapons and armor using the furnace and crafting tables. The player in this game mode has a limited amount of inventory to carry their items and blocks. These blocks can be used to create shelter and weapons in order to fight against a larger amount of monsters in the dark. During the nighttime or in dark places, monsters like skeletons, spiders, zombies, and creepers will spawn and try to kill the player. These are not the only ways to die, as there's also falling, burning, drowning, suffocating, and starving. Speaking about starving, the main way to regain health is through eating food. To get food, you can either make it by growing fruits and vegetables like watermelons, apples, carrots, potatoes, or by crafting it from raw resources, such as crafting bread from 3 pieces of wheat or by baking cake with sugar and milk, in order to gain more hunger points. The hunger bar will go down by doing regular tasks like mining, jumping, and running. Now that's pretty much the survival aspect of the game, but there's also the much harder, hardcore version. In this game mode, the player has 1 life, and if they die, they'll lose their world and will have to delete it. The other mode is creative, which removes the difficulty curve of the previous 2 modes, instead focusing more on the creativity and the building portion of the game, where the player has unlimited access to all the blocks and materials in the game, as well as being invincible and the ability to fly. Although Minecraft is a procedurally generated game, meaning there is an almost infinite amount of worlds to discover and play, fans still decide to create their own experiences with mods. Specifically for the Java version of Minecraft, in the early stages of the game, mods were created to smooth out the multiplayer server side of the gaming experience. As more things were added to Minecraft, modders started to create more and more intricate and well-designed mods. Soon there was an influx of modding content when the Forge mod loader launched in 2013, allowing for multiple mods to be loaded in at once. This allowed for a large amount of mod packs to be created. Mod packs are created by combining multiple mods together to increase the player's experience and difficulty, such as Feed the Beast or Tekkit. After Microsoft's acquisition of Mojang, many modders feared that this would be the end of modding as a whole. This was actually quite the opposite, as Microsoft created a Minecraft mod developers toolkit allowing for easier creation of mods for the game. Not only was there an increased amount of mods made for Minecraft Java Edition, but also in the Windows 10 edition with the Minecraft Marketplace. There, players can create custom content and sell it to other players to use, allowing for more revenue towards those players. Funnily enough, Person was actually afraid of mods and mod packs, explaining how they would threaten his vision, but he finally came around to it, saying that mods was what made Minecraft Minecraft. With the official release of Minecraft, there was a bit of hesitation from reviewers, although most of them came around to the game, noting the complex crafting system, allowing for some notable open-ended gameplay and the instantly memorable blocky graphics. They started talking about how special the game was, and how unparalleled the scope for creativity it had, and how memorable each experience you will have playing with it. Some reviewers who played the alpha version of the game already called it something special, urging buyers to purchase it. Although the game came out on multiple platforms, there was a consensus that the original PC version of the game, Minecraft Java Edition, was the best experience, noting that the other versions of the games on consoles and phones had a notable lack of features, although they still enjoyed playing those versions of the game. Amazingly, through word of mouth, Minecraft sold over 1 million copies less than a month into beta in 2011. Around April the same year, Person made an estimated $33 million from the game. And by March 2012, the game had sold 17 million copies on PC, becoming the 6th best-selling PC game of all time. But the player base kept rising, and on February 25th, 2014, the game reached over 100 million registered users. And on May 2019, 10 years after its public debut, Minecraft became the best-selling video game of all time, reaching an insane 180 million copies sold across all the platforms. In fact, the Xbox 360 version became profitable on the day it was released, and was the most purchased game on Xbox Live. This meant that through the first day sales, the company already made a profit. In my opinion, Minecraft is the most important game to ever come out in the 21st century. Minecraft used an early access type of model, allowing players to dip their toes into what the game was going to be, instead of diving headfirst into the game. This game, like Super Meat Boy, increased indie game development, allowing for more games to be created based off of this simple block game. It has without a doubt changed the landscape that gaming content is consumed on a regular basis, starting with YouTube, where millions of people have gained popularity and prestige from playing this game, seeing a surge in viewership after a shift in how YouTube calculates its algorithm, giving more power to watch time over views. This allowed for sweeping changes to take place, and almost as if overnight, the video landscape has changed. Now the largest game to be watched and played on YouTube was Minecraft, with millions of videos being uploaded yearly. Even as the hype died down, Minecraft is still one of the highest viewed games on multiple video streaming websites, with hundreds of millions of watchers every day. Creepypastas of Herobrine, game conventions, music videos, and celebrities have been made by this game. Minecraft has without a doubt changed the lives of millions of people, and has been my single most played game of all time, with at least a few thousand hours played over the years, playing with friends and family, exploring each brand new generated world, and PvPing with random players on multiplayer maps. Many people akin this game to modern day Legos with its play whatever you want, however you want to style of gameplay, and I can't agree more. This has been the history of Minecraft by Marcus Notch Person. Thanks for watching.